Hello, welcome to the Success with Ease 5-day training series. Today is day 1 and I am Allison Braun. I'm a business and lifestyle success coach for soulful healers and coaches and service providers who want to expand their capacity to experience more success without hustling, without pushing, without forcing, and with more ease and enjoyment. Enjoyment is really the core of what I want you to be experiencing throughout this process. I really believe that the more that you're enjoying the journey, the more you're going to experience more of what you want. So say hello if you're joining. Hello, everyone. I'm also going to be recording it here on Zoom just in case I miss something and it doesn't save. So we've got backup. Say hello, share what you are most excited about for today. Today we are focusing on the open for business technique. This is a technique that I discovered, I think it was maybe 2 years ago or so, because for the last several years I've been enrolling all of my clients a year in advance. So I make all of my money for the next year, everything that I need, a year in advance. And I started to recognize that I had an on and off switch for my business and for my energy. And when I started to recognize that I had this, it became easier and easier and easier for me to turn it on and off as I needed to, and to recognize when it was off, when I didn't actually want it to be off. And so that's what we're going to be covering today. This is going to be really helpful for you if you feel like you have been actually taking actions and there still seems to be like a little bit of a block or a wall blocking you from attracting those clients and having that money coming in. And just to plant the seed for those of you who are joining us today, if you don't have a business yet, or you feel still quite unclear on what your business is, just raise your hand in the comments below. It's totally fine. The training that we're going to be doing over the next couple days is going to be really helpful for you as you're getting going. It's going to save you a lot of time once you do know what your business is. And then the training, the live masterclass training, is going to focus a little bit more on how to focus in and clarify logistically, strategically, verbally what your business is and what you do. So hang tight for that. Take in as much as you can over the next 5 days, knowing that all of this is going to be really, really, really helpful for when you are ready to attract clients. And if you are already, today, this technique in particular, this is something that you'll be able to use no matter what level of business you're in. So even if you are consistently attracting clients, you'll probably find that this is quite helpful. All right, so the first thing that I want you to do is just do a little scan of where you're at. So are you currently, so the first question I have for you is, do you currently have a channel for money to come in through your business? Do you currently have a channel for clients to come in through your business? That a channel being an offering, something that people could purchase today, and you'd be ready to accept those clients. So that's the first thing. If you are in that point where you have that channel, just put how many channels you have open, or how many programs or offerings you have open for people to come in today, right now, in this moment. So that's the first thing. I'll give you a second there to type in the comments. I'm gonna see if I can see them over here. So that's the first thing. If you don't have any channels open, it's going to be really hard for people to hire you, right? So that's a really important key to having clients and money coming in. There has to be channels open and available for that. And then we're going to start looking at, so that's a logistical piece. We're going to start looking at some of the more energetic pieces. If you do have a channel open, or you're about to open a channel or an offering, what you can be doing to make sure that other people are really experiencing that. They're seeing the business sign, they're seeing it turned on, and they can clearly walk through the door. So the next thing that we're going to do, if it's helpful, if you tend to be a more visual person, or if you're a little bit overstimulated right now, if you've got a lot going on, I just invite you to be really, really present. This is something that's really big. If you're multitasking right now, it's going to be really hard for you to actually get anything from this. So I do invite you to be as present as possible. And closing your eyes may help to go through this next portion. So the next thing that you're going to do is just close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that wherever you're at. And if not, just maybe having them at a soft gaze. Starting to bring your awareness to your breath. And you're just going to start imagining that your business, even if you have an online business, that it's in your mind's eye, it's a brick and mortar store. So in this visualization, you have this store that people can walk in and out of. It can look however you want it to look. Paying attention to how it shows up. Is it big? Is it small? Does it have a really wide door, a really narrow door? Does it have multiple doors? And then I want you to look, pretending almost as if you're a client about to walk into the store, or a customer about to walk into the store. Do you see a open or closed for business sign? Once again, paying attention to what it looks and feels like. Is it flashing lights? Is it really bright? Is it dull? Is it kind of hidden? Does it say closed? Does it say open? Does it say welcome, come on in? Just being curious around what little tidbits start to come to you, whether it's through visual or just in your mind. Little thoughts. Those are all little clues to how you're energetically presenting your business right now, and how others are potentially perceiving your business. Great. And then the next thing is to look at if there's, the door is closed, or if it's propped open, if the sign is closed, or if it says open. Just to look at if there's anything that you could do to make this more welcoming, more open. So when I first realized that this is what I was doing, I would consciously pay attention to the light switch is off, the off, the closed for business sign is on right now. I'm not open. And so what I had to do is actually consciously turn on the switch to that light so that the light came on, it turned on to we're open for business, and I had to open the door and prop it so people could be coming in consistently. So for you, whether it's open or closed right now, is there anything that you can be doing? This is just kind of like that intuitive check-in. Is there anything you can be doing to make it feel more welcome to the people around you, more welcome to your clients? Could you put a little prop in the door so it stays open? And by the way, each of these little nuggets that you get, whether it's maybe you see a couch inside with really plush pillows, or the sign gets bright or open, each of these things can be a clue for a practical action that you can be taking, but it's also that energetic, setting the stage for people to come in. So just going through this process in meditation and visualization is enough to really start switching things, but then you can also take those clues and apply them practically. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to go get a couch, but maybe you need to make things feel a little bit more cozier in your business, or more playful in your business. So that's the first part, getting clarity on, are you open, are you closed? And the next piece is to start looking at what if anything could be contributing to that closed sign being on or the door being closed. Are there pieces in your life or in your mindset that are causing you to feel like, yeah, I want money, yes, I want clients, but I don't really have space, I don't really have the energy, I don't really feel confident enough, I don't really feel clear enough. All of those things are going to be things that keep that light switch off and the door closed on some level. So a really practical action step, if you're noticing any of those things come up, is to write them down first and foremost. You know, I feel like I don't actually have space. Maybe you're working another job. I don't feel like I have the space or the energy to take on clients. Write it down. Or maybe it's that you don't have agreements in place or contracts or an invoicing system. So maybe there's some logistical pieces that you don't have in place yet. Or maybe you don't actually know what your program is yet. Great, write it down. So based on this, that'll give you some clear action steps on like, oh, okay, my next action step is to go make an agreement, or my next action step is to look through my calendar. This is one of my favorite action steps, by the way, to really quickly start calling those clients once you have that on switch, is to plug in the client spots into your calendar. So even though maybe you don't have any clients at this moment, making space for them in your calendar. And until those spots are all full, you use that time for client attraction activities. Because if you don't have the space in your calendar, it makes it hard for people to feel like those doors are open. Or if you don't have that dedicated time in place, that could also mean that as people come in, you're kind of catering to everyone's desires time-wise, and all of a sudden you start losing your self-care practices and your boundaries, and we don't want that either. So this will ensure that you are being really conscious about what goes into your calendar and when, and that you're open for business for those clients to start coming through. All right, so this is two parts. The first part is energetically opening the doors to your business, turning on the sign, and it can be as simple as just visualizing that happening. And you might have to do this a couple times. Sometimes I will actually turn off. It's like, okay, great, I'm going on vacation. I'm just gonna turn this off. And I'll get like no emails, no messages, no nothing. And then as soon as I turn it back on, great, there's like 10 requests to do interviews, there's a couple client inquiries, everything is flowing in. So that's just something that you can be paying attention to throughout the whole year. And you can navigate this as well as you start building a team and they're doing things for you. You can visualize that container as your whole business rather than just you as your business. So you can shift the exercise as you go along. And then the second part that you're going to be doing is looking at, is there anything that's causing the door to be closed and the sign to be turned off that you need to take care of externally? Do you need to make more space for it? Do you need to have some certain practices put into place? Do you need to boost your confidence, get more clarity? All of those things will give you clear action steps on what you need to do next. Great. Does anyone have any questions on this so far? I'm going to check in here. So Toby says, I didn't even have an open close sign until you mentioned it. Yeah, so the big thing is if you are already starting to attract clients and you don't have those clear spots in your calendar, I guarantee you will start to feel overwhelmed and things will start to your own self-care practices will start to like kind of go down the hole a little bit because you don't have that clear boundary of this is my time and this is my business's time. This is my time, this is my client's time. That's really, really important. Yay. Great. So some people have 1, 2, 4, 3 different channels. Great. All right. I don't see any questions coming in, but feel free to pop them in the comments at any point in time and I'll keep my eyes open to go through that. This is really powerful. If you are finding that right now you're a little bit distracted, you've got a couple other things to do, you haven't been able to really close your eyes and sink into this, come back to this.